everybody. Welcome to Blushing Nerd Tarot. It's been a little while since I've been on. Hopefully, the stream is live. I'm just going to go ahead and check to make sure. So I hope everybody's doing well. Just came out of DN's live. It's nice to hop on there and see. At least I caught a little bit of the end there, so that was nice. Just taking a look here to make sure that I am in fact showing up. We might have to. Let's take a look here. Bear with me just a moment. If I am actually live and people can see me, there we go. Hey, Maruda, good to see you. Thanks for hopping on. And just it's a Sunday. I had some time available. I thought, it's been a little while since I hopped on, so I wanted to do a live, a pop-up, say hi to everybody. My wife and I did a little bit of shopping yesterday at some metaphysical stores we hadn't been to before. So I have some like kind of a mini haul from that to share, just some fun things that we found out there. There are a variety of things that we were looking for specifically. If you haven't heard yet, I opened an online store, tarotforest.com, and we're looking for some interesting things, some unique stuff to try and offer there. And that can be difficult to do. It's funny. I haven't had to think about it from the standpoint of being a seller before, but thinking about it from the perspective of a consumer of those things, oftentimes I found myself going to stores like that and even online stores and being a little bit disappointed in the stuff that I'd find. Sometimes it's just a little one note, maybe not terribly exciting. The same kind of things tend to make their way into a lot of those stores. So one of the things that, the tagline for the store is curated cartomancy. We wanted to concentrate on really high quality decks, indie decks, things that are a little bit more difficult to find in the market. I've had a lot of help from some early supporters in the store with suggestions of decks that they are excited about, that they'd like to see in the store. So that's just on the card side, but then we're also looking at other things to carry as well, some accessory items and things. So I've been adding some of those. I did find there's a group of Indigenous folks in Canada that produce a lot of they seem to concentrate a lot on ceremonial things, but they have smudging accessories, I guess you would say, kits and feathers that are specific to different purposes for cleansing and smudging ceremonies and things. So that's part of what I'm looking at selling, and I'll share a little bit about that on in a minute. I can do a screen share of the store and some of the things that are coming. They're on their way. So there's some handmade crafts from other folks, and then handmade stuff from myself and my wife. So variety of things like that. One of the things that we're working on now, and I actually made one. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't make it. I came up with the design, and then my wife, who has some experience making jewelry, helped me out with it. And I'm hoping that this shows up, but it's an all black hematite pendulum, and I like the idea of, so many of them have black or silver or gold chains. And you just don't see many out there that follow a color theme throughout, and this has some lava and some natural pearl, black natural pearls, um, that sort of thing. So yeah, so thanks. Yeah, so that's kind of one of the angles we're taking. There are some obviously there are a lot of those out in the market, so you can just go out and buy that sort of thing. Even wholesale, you can buy them to resell. However, this is something that we felt we could do and make it exactly what we wanted. So that's part of the motivation there. Um, so some of the things that we picked up yesterday that were kind of fun, and I really hope the color shows up on this because this is this is a it's called Crazy Lace Agate, and it's the camera doesn't like it. There we go. Um, and one thing that doesn't show up about this is the yellow. It's just this vibrant yellow. So whatever looks sort of like brownish on there is actually it has some rusty tones and some very like amber, and then there's some green and things like that. It's just a very cool combination. So that's the first I've ever seen that, especially in that form. So I was pretty excited to see that. Um, I also got. I'm going to open it up here too, and we'll take a look at it together. I haven't opened it yet. It still is wrapped, but the Folklore Oracle um, is Mike Bass is the creator, and it comes from Watkins Books in the UK, which is kind of exciting too. So the one store we went to has a really good selection of tarot and oracle, probably the best I've ever seen in a store. Um, and yes, I agree. That's part of the reason we wanted to do this sort of thing. Um, we're pretty crafty people anyway. I mean, I've shown my tarot pouches and things like that, which I'm considering doing those for the store, but there's so much work involved in those, and I'm a little limited on time already. So I'm thinking maybe if I have an extended break that we're not actually traveling, I might spend like a couple of days just cranking some out at least. I don't know, so I can. I don't know. I can try and make some stock. Those would be they're really it's a lot of work. um, so I don't know. We'll see. But oh, cool. Yeah, nice. Maybe that'll be something she'll take with her on our cruise. So that's fun. Um, yeah, it's there are a lot of things you can do, like, speaking of intention for handmade goods, there are a lot of things you can do that, enhance that too, and, you know, I don't know if it's important to people, but certainly, one thing we could do, yeah, limited editions, that's the thing, they're pretty much all gonna be limited editions, we'll be making a handful here and there, um, and when they're gone, they're gone. That's it, and they're all going to be pretty much one of a kind, which is intriguing anyway. It's what attracts me to things sometimes. So, um, nice guidebook with this. So, uh, the Folklore Oracle looks like some black and white pictures, and then and I have no idea what this deck has in it. None. So we're all going to see it here for the first time, unless you've already seen it. Oracle card size, it is, kind of the larger, um, more squarish cards than a standard RWS. Let me just pull out a card here so we can do a size comparison. Tom, great to see you. Thanks for stopping by. I never know. You never know what's going to happen when you do these kind of pop up things. It wasn't scheduled until just a very short time ago. Um, so I really appreciate when people come in because I do. I like hanging out with everybody, and that's part of the reason why I do this because this is our way of being able to hang out. Unfortunately, just geographical factors notwithstanding. Um, so here is um, the size comparison. So it is kind of, wider and a little bit taller than standard taro. So let's take a little bit more of a look here. Tom, I was just showing to, I'm just going to pop it up here again. And you're right, Tom. I do have some competition at this time. That's another factor, is that I can't always plan the perfect time, and I always hesitate even to hop on sometimes, because a lot of the people that are doing their live streams, I'm wanting to be in there and hang out with them when I can. So this is something I'm working on for the store. This is an all black, including the chain, an all black pendulum, hematite, pearl, lava, that sort of thing. Um, and so working on some of those, have some components on order and some things that, yes, we are making them. So I did the layout design for this, and my wife made it. So she's a good jewelry maker. So she has all the tools and things like that. So yeah, we're making them, and we are we're gonna do, I think, some batch releases. So we might make like 10 at a time. But this all black theme is one that really intrigues me. I've never seen pendulums in stores or in other online sellers that follow that kind of thing. And I guess just I was kind of fatigued by the constant silver and gold themes that are everywhere. I wanted something a little different, so that's the route we're taking. And then I was mentioning too, Tom, just to catch you up a little bit. I was mentioning that we went out, did some shopping yesterday, checking out some newer, not newer, I'm sorry, new to us metaphysical supply shops that we haven't been to before. And I picked up the Folklore Oracle from Mike Bass. It's Watkins Books is the publisher out of the UK. And I'm just opening it now. So it's standard Oracle size, as much as there can be a standard Oracle size, meaning I think every time I say standard Oracle size, what I'm thinking in my head is not tarot size, whatever that means. So, all right, good. No other stream right now. So maybe we'll get some others in. And if you're joining and just lurking, great, welcome. And if you catch this on the playback, that's great too. So one of the reasons this Folklore Oracle attracted me is because of it seems to have kind of a woodsy theme, and I'm interested in finding those things for tarotforest.com. So we'll see what happens there. But I'm not going to go, oh, I love that. That's fun. Wow, I got my forest theme, didn't I? So there are a lot of badger, a lot of directions you can take, Banshee, with a forest theme. But this is fun. Oh, I love birch groves. I used to go hiking in a place near, it's in the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania, close to the Jersey border. And there's a little area there. I believe it's called Water Gap, and it's called Water Gap because it's literally a gap in the mountains where a river passes through. And there's a part of the Appalachian Trail there that you can kind of hop on, hike a little bit, and hop back out again. Boy, these are fun. This is one I think, probably you're going to rely on. It's not exactly self-explanatory in terms of some meanings here, because obviously that's a frog. So the title frog doesn't really take us down a path necessarily, unless you just have some free association going on with the idea of a frog. So fun stuff. There's some really cool things here. But anyway, the birch grove thing reminded me of that section of the Appalachian Trail there that I used to hike, and it had a birch grove that was to die for. It was the coolest birch grove. This is interesting. John Barleycorn. Um, oh, I think you're right. Yeah, Latvia. Yeah, and I'm cool. I'm crazy about birch trees and especially the birch groves because I think what I liked most about it is the first time I hiked that trail, I came around a corner and there it was, just this seemingly endless vein of birch trees stretching out in front of me. And it just had the coolest feel. I mean, just that the white bark and the kind of shagginess of the trunks and um just it was just stunning. Um Very cool place. Really just a very peaceful feeling. It really just kind of washes over you when you're standing there amongst these birch trees, and it was fantastic. So really enjoyed that. Um, Nemo, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you hanging out with us here. Just doing a pop up to hang out, talk about a few things I picked up um, shopping yesterday, and talk a little bit about some things that are happening in the store. Um, One thing to mention, and I put it in the description. Hey, it's Hershey. Hey, Hershey. Thanks for joining. Glad you're able to stop by. And it's good timing. I was just about to say, I I wanted to bring up the store and specifically mention if you look in the and I'll put links in, but I put the names down there. Um, if so, just this month, if you didn't catch the announcement, and I know some of you did, so thank you. Um, Hershey's channel and also Krista Chronicles. Those are the only two channels right now. If you are a subscriber, go to their channels and they are both going to be kind of announcing in some of their videos, just basically go to terraforest.com, use this code, and I'm not going to tell you what the code is because you have to see it on their channel and come through them. But yeah, go to their channels and I like I said, it's the only two that are doing this. You can get 31% off of any one deck. And 31% pretty big chunk. I feel, especially for some of the ones that I have in there, most of the decks that I have on the site at this point are independent decks, independent creators, small production. They are they're kind of hard to come by. Well, I shouldn't say hard to come by, but they're not common. Like with the exception of one, I think I have one deck on there that you can get on Amazon. For the most part, I'm going to avoid that like the plague. But this was one I had access to through the wholesale channels that I have. That I like the look at it of it, and I hadn't seen it anywhere that in any of the stores that I go to or anything. So um, yeah, but it is best deal anywhere, but you have to go get the code from them. So I'm not going to tell you what it is. Go to their channels, check out their stuff. You all know, everybody that's in here knows, you're all fans already anyway. So get that code. Now, the other thing to say is they've already been used. A few of those codes have already been used. And it's not only limited time, but there are only a total of 10 uses available because that's a pretty steep discount. We're just getting started, but um, uh, only 10 uses per code. And once they're gone, they're gone. So that's that. But then once you do go to the site, sign up, that sort of thing, there are referral codes. So if you refer a friend to the store and they make a purchase, they can get a 15% discount, and that'll then kick back a 15% discount to you, the referrer. So that's the thing there. So I have another deck here, and I'm gonna show. Let me share my screen so that I can give you Excellent. Oh, you know what, Hershey, this was partially inspired by you too. Anyway, because I see you using the pendulum a lot. So, Tom, stay tuned because they'll be posted fairly soon. But Hershey, I did this, and you do have some slots left, Hershey, for your code. Um, so this is uh, my wife made this. I designed it. It is all black components, um, and so that's hematite for the pendulum. I'm looking for additional, and that's um, a feather on the end. But oh goodness, if I can keep it on the screen, would you look at me? It's an amateur hour here, people. Don't mind me. Just losing it. Anyway, that is something we are adding to the store, but we're making all of them. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to be doing more and more of those, and we're going to stock them up. So that's the idea. And you'll be yeah, you won't have to necessarily arm wrestle for it. There will be more to go around. So we're just kind of getting up to speed on that. I also have to set up. I used to have kind of a product photo studio thing set up for a project I was doing. Wasn't for products for sale, but it was a project I was doing for work, a kind of a training thing. I was helping people out with understanding some components of things that we work with. And I would pay money to see that. And Tom, you're going down. So, I mean, that's how it is. Um, so, all right. Okay. What I'll do is I'll put these in a special section in the store, and it'll be one that's available for only Hershey or only Tom. And we'll see what happens. But you're both so great. I'd have to mark that price down as far as possible. Maybe just give it away. Yeah. Oh, I was starting to share my screen. Now I got distracted. So, you know what? Sip, and then I'll share. Hershey will cheat and have her guides distract me. Can you call it cheating though? Really? I don't know if you can. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't call it cheating. Hopefully you can see the screen here. This is the site. If you haven't been there before, tarotforest.com. And what you can do is when you go into the shop, there is a refer friends section at the top. Like I mentioned, that's something you can do. So earlier on, I was talking about the smudging accoutrement that you can get. Now, this all comes from here. Let me pull up one of these kits. So this is the Harmony kit. Harmony cleansing comes with the little dish and some incense, selenite, an appropriate feather specifically designed. So this is a bundle designed for Harmony, and then a sage bundle. So this comes from the Manaug. I don't forgive me if I'm not getting that correct. The Manaug Indigenous Crafts and Gifts. It's a First Nation owned, operated Canadian company. So these are all handmade in Canada. They make the kits. They make, if you go into, these are coming later this month. That's, by the way, it says coming soon because it takes a little while for them. Because they're handmade, because they're a small operation, kind of a local collective, they, in some cases, I think, have to make these to order. But they're just beautiful. And so each of these feathers has specific uses too. So this is the feather for comfort. And just, I just fell in love with these. This is one of those things that as I was looking for stuff to add to the store, I hopped onto this section of things, and I was like, oh yeah, give me some of that, because it's just beautiful. The botanical smudge kit, they come with a little description of, I think it talks about how to go about the process, and what these kits can do. And if there's interest in these, there are more options. They have different kits available. Just, like everything else on here, I'm starting out small. But if you, two of the decks that just arrived, by the way, we are sold out of Heartwood Tarot. There are more coming next week. So Stephanie from Three Trees Tarot put more in the mail for me from the UK on Friday. So I expect them to arrive probably by Wednesday or something like that. And nope, you didn't miss them all. They are still on their way. I just wanted to get them posted up there just so that as soon as they arrive, all I have to do is update the inventory and we're good to go. So, thank you. Yes. And hey, Moon Daisy. Yeah. That I'm telling you, as soon as I saw those and I saw that they were made by really people that have I don't want to say have a right to make them, but it's part of their culture and they're making them on their land from the tools that they use in their own processes. And just I don't know, it just really spoke to me. So yeah, I don't know, I just love it. um and I'm anxious to kind of dive deeper on that stuff when available. So two decks that just arrived, the Rain Shadow Tarot and the Illuminated Earth Oracle. These just arrived, and I have one here that I haven't opened yet. I'm going to open it now so we can kind of take a look together. So one thing, admittedly, that it's I understand that this is a yeah, cutest deck ever. Yeah, Northern Animal. Yeah, Northern Animal. I actually don't have Northern Animal, and it's one that I'm interested in as well. So good to know that you're interested. Yes, I will keep that in mind. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of taken from my own stash, but I also planned ahead. This is one I wanted to get, so I ordered enough that I would be able to have one of these for testing purposes, for sharing it, and that sort of thing. So, um, oh, nice. Yeah. Um, yeah, it's a really interesting thing. My neighbor's actually pretty interested in it as well. So, um, he and I have been kind of talking about that too. Maybe that drove some of my interest in this as well. So I'm going to open this up. We'll take a look at it. And one of the reasons I've had some great suggestions from people that have already been, um, on the site buying and checking out um, the, um, the various options there. So this is a two-part hard cardboard box. But anyway, I've had some great suggestions of different decks to bring on. Um, and a variety of really good tips on where I can go and some I have so many in the hopper now. I have all these deck creators that don't sell through stores. Um that in some cases sell through their own shop on their own website, and or they'll sell through Etsy. Most of the time they'll have their own website and they'll sell through Etsy, so they'll have a link there. But that's it. You can't get their deck anywhere else. And thanks to those tips, if any of you know Beth, she's been just popping in the tips left, right, and center. And I've been reaching out to a lot of them, and they are all happy to help out a new store that is interested in selling these independent decks, and I've been really touched by their eagerness to join in this adventure. So, yeah, just been been super fun. Um, so one of the things, so it has just a very like, kind of basic fold out. But this is an Oracle. Um, so sometimes all you need is just a little bit of extra information on those cards, um, beyond what they're already, um, what is already on the card itself. Whoa, I did not know these had iridescent silver edges. That is cool. I wish the camera would pick up more of that fun color, but it's very bright. Um, I would agree with this too. Yeah, Hershey, if you haven't used the Oak Ash and Thorn, the darker cards in that deck really would speak to you as well. Yeah, I agree. I that's one of the things that Stephanie does well. Her and her artists that they collaborate on things that bringing some themes in that are a little bit darker, even within the coziness of that. That's one of the reasons I love those decks so much. And I'm thinking, so I did bring down um, the Heartwood and the Thistledown, to do maybe a little collective reading later on. So, and Hershey, I still need to reach out and get that nailed down. So I don't know what and I'm curious what decks you have of Patrick Valencia. So let me know if you don't mind. Um, but I need to find out what some creators, some creators will ship direct at wholesale prices. Um, some you have to buy through because they're big enough. You have to buy through their publisher. So I'm still establishing some of those. I do have Penguin Random House and some other ones that I can buy from. But again, most of those are larger mass market things. So I don't have a ton of interest there. But yeah, I am missing one of the three trees, but I'm getting them all. So I'll be there. Um, it's happening. Um, don't have Thistledown yet. It's coming. And so I'm working with, so here, okay, full disclosure, here's one of the complications with the Three Trees decks. She does not have wholesale available in the US yet. So I'm bringing these in with, she has a discount structure, but it's not wholesale. So the margins are very slim, which is it's something you just have to be careful of as a small store. Um, so yeah, so I'm working with her on that. We're talking about um how to get that set up to be maybe a little more favorable, a little closer to what she has for people in the UK, for resellers there, brick and mortar stores, and so on. If you're in the UK or I believe Europe, you can get actual wholesale pricing on some of those decks, and I can't. However, I love those decks so much. I think it's exactly the type of not just content, but really the quality is. I can't think of another deck that hits all of the quality things that I look for, um, outside of the Three Trees Tarot realm. They just that card stock, the natural inks that they use, the everything about it. So as soon as I found out that she was willing to give me any discount, I just said yes, please start shipping. But I need that to be a little bit better set up before I can expand the the whole selection. So it really is. So I am working on a tarot deck. I hesitate to say I'm going to go through her printer. If I ever finish that project, I am absolutely going to work with her to connect with that printer because I can't dream of having a deck that I would work on going on anything else. It's just it's the best. So yeah, if someone used one of the codes, can they use another if open slots are still available? That's a great question. I think I think what I'll do as we get closer to the end of the month, I'm totally open to that. I think the I have to figure out how I can make that happen because currently I don't know if the website, the underlying code will allow for the same buyer to come back and use another code again because it is, I believe, set up for a one-time use for a customer. But let me look into that as we get closer to the month. If we have closer to the end of the month, sorry, if we have some openings, um, yeah, let's work on that for sure. Um, okay, I need a sip. I need a sip, folks. Pardon me. Okay. Yep. So, oh, someone stole your Pocket Asylum. Wait, is that this one? The Mildred Payne? Wait, is that? Yeah, Mildred Payne Secret. Is that the one you're talking about? Somebody stole it? That is not good. I can't. There we go. There we go. Focus. Um, wow, that is not good. Um, oh, I didn't know there was a deluxe version. Oh, wow. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Well, appreciate the list. Yeah, we'll have to talk about which ones because I don't I'm not super familiar with the full spread. Yeah. Oh yeah, Zamerman twins. Yeah. Yeah. I totally get that. Yeah. Yeah. That cruise is going to be so cool. I'm very excited. Oh, I forgot to tell you that. So I'm glad you're hopped on because while I was, so the other day you were talking about hagstones. You're hoping you find a hagstone while you're out there on your cruise. In one of the shops we went to yesterday, they had hagstones. Okay, but they had three, and they looked really cool. I picked them up though and checked them out a little closer, and it almost looked like they had been drilled, as if like because I mean the hagstones I looked at after you were talking about them, they seem to be like the holes totally seem to be natural, like a natural phenomenon, versus the ones that I saw in this stone, just kind of like they really, I don't know, they had a very specific look, like it was a dead straight hole that looked like it had been drilled. Um, so yeah, that didn't seem right. But I don't know. I'm not totally familiar. I don't know how those holes are created in the natural stones. If it should have that look. Um, there were smooth edges and things around it, but I have a feeling they were sketchy. I'll just call them sketchy, but I don't know. So I didn't get one. Um, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, yeah, definitely. So I'm sure that's what was going on there. I wouldn't be surprised either. I don't know how you all feel about the crystals that have um yeah, need to be natural. That was what I thought. So I just skipped it. Um but the crystals that have a lot of like heavy dye use that almost look painted and stuff, I kind of feel the same way or similarly about those. Um that like I mean nature makes some cool stuff. I don't know that we need to mess with that. Um yeah. Yep. Trust your gut. That's the thing. I don't either. I avoid them. They just kinda give me the icks when I look at them, and I just don't they don't excite me. I want the natural stuff, and there's some really cool natural stuff out there, so why not just go for that? So here are some of the cards from, um, the, uh the Faceted Garden Oracle, um, and she is, the creator. Um, and I'm sorry, I'm working with so many different people right now, trying to add some stuff that I keep forgetting names, and it's Claire Mack. Claire Mack. And this came out, I believe, last year. Um, so those are the backs. Animal Allies. This this deck has certainly a lot of stuff going on. There are so many little things in this. So it's hand painted, also collage. So it's a combination of those two arts, and it is her art. So it is not just clips of things being smashed together. Um, and I think there's a lot of cool stuff going on in here. Yeah, I mean that's how I felt too. More interesting than I expected as well. So Oh, that's a good point too. Yeah, dyed crystal is for people who care about fashion more than vibration. Yeah, it's a good point. I think that's true. Looking for a certain look, not a certain feel. But oh, entropy. What a cool thing for entropy. You get the snake going right through the mouth of a skull. Entropy is such a fascinating concept, you know. The egg that rolls off the edge of the table and breaks. You can't unbreak the egg. Fall. Moon Daisy. This is the Faceted Garden Oracle. Shameless plug available right now on tarotforest.com. Be silly if I didn't say that. Just put it in stock. If you go to Hershey's site or Hershey's channel and get a code, if she makes an announcement with the code, she's done it already. So you can find it where it exists. But Hershey, feel free to use that code in any of your videos if you just want to, you know, throw it out there. You're welcome to. Um, oh, gemstones. Here we go. How about that? Sorry, Tom. You knew it was going to happen eventually. I mean, that's just been my hope, but it's fine. Everybody should. And I'm a firm believer in the in Tom, or Gerald's statement about um know your limits, purchase wisely, all that kind of stuff. Metamorphosis won't focus. Come on, focus. Metamorphosis. Um, but I really like Claire's art. I think, and I do think it just, I mean, look at that morning song, that moon up in the corner. I'm making a mess, by the way, as I pull the cards down and put them down. There's, I have things and stuff, and oh boy, it's just, oh, new moon. That's not a depiction. You don't see new moon too much on things because you can't really see much of the moon. So it's fun to have somebody do that. But anyway, these cards are going to be a pickup later. Nocturnus. Very cool. Passage. There's some path work for you. Perennial. Yes, Tom. Do that. Anyway, Hershey, if you want to just throw it out there while you're doing any videos, please do. It's really just the whole like, um, I'm anxious to give people that discount because I really want to bring some special stuff. Oh, what an interesting depiction for a scarecrow. Hershey, you think that has some shadow vibes to it? Oh, you know what? There's an interesting thing. Now, this is funny. Um, you don't see this deck listed because, and here's a funny thing. I'm gonna go check as soon as we're done here. I'm gonna check. So this is why big businesses check in their inventory and have a list, and they go down the. I'm small. I even have a disclaimer on my website that talks about how, um, we're just getting started and be patient with us, et cetera, et cetera. Right. Well, this deck is one of Claire's decks, and she may have sent me the wrong thing. So let me check on that. I'll get there, but you're right. I think it's not listed properly. There might be two things going on here. One, either sent me the wrong thing, or it's listed incorrectly. Um, because I have the illuminated earth up there, not the faceted garden. Let me do another look here to make sure I'm not losing my mind. Yep. So I need to do a check. I'll get back to you on that. But the thing is, she's quick to ship. So with some interest in this, if this is what I'll do is swap it out. If this is what all of the, because I only pulled the one deck out of the whole box. Um, so yeah, Tom, hang on, because this is definitely going to be a thing. So yeah, um, yeah, don't almost buy the wrong thing. My apologies. Anyway, we'll get it straightened out. But if this isn't the one that she sent, then it will be added very soon. She ships right away, and stuff arrives in just a couple of days. So, so this will be there, in very short order. So there you have it. So yeah. Anyway, thank you for your patience. Thank you for pointing that out. This is the we'll see Hershey. It could be it's really, I think, maybe a matter of receiving a stack of the wrong things. It's why I kind of hesitated at first when I looked at the name versus what, but we'll get it straightened out. So yeah. So yeah, wait for the pendulum. We'll get those up. They're coming. And other things. So I mentioned that Three Trees Tarot, I'll be listing more of their stuff as we go along. In the meantime, I'm gonna do small restocks of the two that I have up there. I'll probably bring in Thistledown, maybe. We'll get some. We'll get a little bit more of a mix in there. But I do think. Oh, good question. Let me take a look. No, I didn't see that. I'm sorry. And it's actually notice small bug defaulted to next day air for the shipping. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. It's the shipping setup is a little bit bizarre. It should be defaulting to um right now, and I'm probably only doing this for the first month. I'm offering a free shipping tier. And I don't know, I might keep that. We'll see. Um, but I like the idea of, like, if people are really interested in coming on and getting stuff, if you don't mind that it takes, a few days up to a week or whatever to get it, then, I think covering the shipping on that's fine, especially right now while I'm getting started. I do everything I can to ship the same day when things come out, but I appreciate pointing that out because that's part of this whole getting started thing is that some of these setups are fairly complicated. And yeah, we're on it, Hershey. You're helping me out. I mean, we're on it. Um, so I'll take a look at that shipping thing. It could be that there are just several choices on the drop down. So if you just select drop down and then you can pick from one of several shipping options, one of which is free. So that will definitely show up. Yeah, that's good feedback. And that's kind of what I was aiming for. I mean, I know I think of it that way often too, because um, it is, it's certainly, um, it's certainly a factor when for a lot of people, especially, a lot of these decks are more expensive because they're independent decks. Um, and I think I don't want to put any barriers in. If people are willing to wait a little bit longer, um, then I don't mind. I mean, and by longer, I mean if you're in the continental U.S., it's only going to take in most places 4 or 5 days at the longest reaches of the U.S. Postal Service for a free thing. So, um, there is a link down in the description to the store site. So check that out. And I'll straighten out what's going on with this Oracle. Make sure everything is good to go there. Oh, thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. So yeah, PayPal. Um, I am working with PayPal to put a link in directly on the site. Right now, it takes all major credit cards, Apple Pay. Is there a Google Pay? I think it takes that too. Basically the full array is available there. There are extra steps that you have to go through with PayPal that it's like all of them. You have to do some verifications, and that's all fine. I have all of the business stuff set up and arranged. But while setting those things up on PayPal, um, there's like a portion of it that it just takes a while. So we'll get that all set up. Yep. And as exactly, here we go. So yeah, if you go to Hershey and Krista Chronicles, both of them have a code. They're the only ones to have a code. And right now those codes are good until the end of October for their subscribers. Each code gets one buyer a 31% discount on one of the decks on their order. So if you order more than one deck, it will only apply to one. And yeah, you have to get the code through them. That's kind of an affiliate code deal. So that's kind of, I appreciate their support. They've been really great. We've already had people use that code, use those codes. And yeah, super, super exciting. So, thank you very much, Mo. Appreciate it. Yeah, hit the like, and definitely head over to, yeah, good question. Which one, Miss Moonlight? So there are more coming in. So, of everything that's listed there, if it's listed on the site, I am going to be, restocking if it's currently out of stock. Some are already on their way, and there are a lot more coming in addition. So I've already backed some Kickstarters that are coming out in a range of upcoming dates all the way through, starting I think as early as December and going all the way through the first half of next year. some pretty exciting Kickstarter projects that I've backed at the retail level, or the reseller level. So I'll be getting some decent sized stocks of some pretty interesting small production decks that way. So that is a way to go. I'll be expanding that way. Also, Beth, like I mentioned before, has suggested a lot of great independent decks that I'll be adding as well. So, and yes, thank you, Hershey. Yeah, you were the first one to come to mind when I started doing this, and I thought, it's yeah. I mean, you you were an early subscriber of mine, and it just have been a great supporter all along the way. And I thought, I'm really inspired by the stuff that you do on your channel. By the way, I hope last night's work with the victim went well. I was sad to see the stream end so quickly, but completely understand. But I hope that all went well. So yeah. So I think, wow, we've been on about an hour. And I was going to do a quick reading for the collective. But I think, yeah, I did start to talk about how, one of the things that is important to me about this is the idea that I'm trying to create a really special collection of things. Um, Not just be another venue for consumerism. Um, so it's a passion project for me. It's a side thing, but it's a serious thing. And um, I'll tell you, I've been so thrilled. Just really, the orders that came in from the early supporters, I just can't say thank you enough. Got them out right away, and I hope everybody's enjoying their decks. It's been really fun. I'm super excited to be doing this, and really excited for some of the additional stuff that's coming in too. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So, um, that being said, yeah, I do hope that. Oh yeah, good, excellent. Thanks, Mo. Yeah, yeah, I'm subscribed, so I'll be checking that out. Looking for the haptic tarot. Hang on. Taking notes. Taking notes. All right. Got it. Pardon the intrusion there of my pencil. But I'm glad it went well. Good to hear, Hershey. I appreciate that. So um yep, yep. I think I did. Back. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's the one. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, stay tuned for that one. We'll see. Um mhm. Oh, thanks, Moon Daisy. It means a lot. I just, you know, I really, I've been, I don't know. This community has done a lot for me. Just being a resource for good times and just great energy. I mean, our little corner of the tarot tube world is pretty special, and I I've been I don't know, I've been fed by this so much, um and it's hard to find ways to to give back and to think about that. Um, I like to do that wherever I can, but I also, um, sometimes I feel bad because I'm so busy with work all the time that all I can do is kind of work lurk in people's live streams and stuff because timing just doesn't always work out. Sometimes it's just, a lot of things happen during the day, during the work day, and it's not feasible for me. And then once I'm watching the replays, I can still put comments and things, but what I love is this. Love the exchange, It just I don't know. It's just great. Very nice of you to say, Tom. Really is. And yeah, I'm always looking for new stuff coming out on your channel. So in fact, I need to have you been making stuff and maybe I lost the notifications on your channel because I know I'm subbed and have it set up for that. But anyway, we'll we got to get you on to do some readings. I think that would be great too. Conversation is key. That's one of the reasons why I'm always just I'm always just craving some of those lives to just happen at different times, but it is what it is. I need to be better about just hopping on myself because look here. I mean, you guys have all been popping in and having, I mean, this is amazing. I couldn't think of a better way to spend my Sunday except, I'll be hanging out with my family too. And that's great too. But, um, it's a cool balance. I have two families I can hang out with, you guys and the family upstairs. So I'm pretty fortunate there. Um, yeah, it yeah, Tuesday through Saturday, second shift. Totally. That's a tough, yeah, that is a tough one for sure. Um, having a conversation with my phone. I can't tell you. Yeah, I mean, there have been so many times where I'm just sitting there silently watching something and I am laughing up a storm because something super hilarious happens during somebody's live stream or something. And I'm just wishing that I could jump in the chat, but the chat's not there. So all you can do is comment. But uh yeah. Yeah, and I don't know how that works. I don't know. It's so weird. I don't know if it's like a feature of the algorithms who gets pushed to what videos. Um I don't know what the phenomenon is, but there seems to be no rhyme or reason to views versus subs and they don't always go together and I don't get it. I don't know. YouTube math, it's weird. It's just no making sense of it. Oh, okay, you got the release today. And that's of the video from you and Petey cuz wow, we'll be watching that. What? That's another half hour. That's not bad. All right, great. So, oh, you were on Ramon's channel. Ah, I didn't catch that. I think that must have been the late readings because I think Ramon did like late stuff on Friday. Um, oh man, yeah, I'm sad I missed that too. Um, mm, yeah, it's a. I just, I don't know. Sometimes the late ones get me too because I get up so early and then and just like driving, working all day, whatever, and by the time I get home, cook dinner, take care of all the pets. Nowadays doing the store stuff in the evenings too. I'm shot. I just fall asleep. So I can't catch the live stuff, the late stuff either. Um, but hmm, yeah. Mm, yeah, one of your videos got over 500 views and more likes than subscribers. Yeah, I don't I don't know. I don't know the the mystical realm of YouTube math. I just don't get it. All right, we'll keep an eye on his channel and we'll be looking for you, Tom. And if you're interested, so Hershey and I were talking about getting together, doing some readings sometime soon before the cruise, possibly. So maybe the three of us can do some readings together. What do you think? I don't know. That'd be nice. Um, yeah, I would love that. So, um, yeah, feel the need to read. I was just telling Hershey that, I think yesterday or Friday, one of the two, just telling her I feel the need to read. I haven't done any live streams with reading, for a long time. Um, definitely like that. So, um, yeah, cool. Well, let's do a little reading. I'm going to start out with, just a thistle down, card, and then we'll pull a couple from the Heartwood. So I've been shuffling away here like crazy. So Thistledown says guidance. Look at that. We got the little bundle of crystals down there. Some amethyst, I think, down there around the tail. Looking for guidance. Yeah, I know I'm looking for guidance. And I love how this is almost has a Rudolph effect. Um, that the nose is not glowing, but it does kind of have that feel, like it makes me think of Rudolph, that, the red nose just kind of, um, guiding the way. But this could be some wisdom shedding light on a situation, um, and guiding the way. And we'll just follow with a little bit of maybe just a card from the Heartwood. So yeah, it does have a hermit feeling. Hershey says, yes, 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 let's do it. So, Tom trying to get over the nerves. I totally understand that. And yeah, I mean, it's, that you should also take comfort in that. And the people you read for should take comfort in that too. Because if you weren't nervous about it, that would say something. I mean, some people just aren't nervous about doing that sort of thing naturally, but also I feel like for something like this, you should have some measure of nerves about it. It just shows you're taking it seriously. And even if it's just a random viewer that pops on and happens to capture the live because the algorithm drove them there, um, and it's not somebody that knows the channel that you're on or knows you or whatever, and they come in, even maybe they don't have a real serious question or a serious approach, they're just curious or something. Those people still deserve a serious approach, you know I don't know. Yeah, overthink, it's an important thing for some to get a reading, and I don't want to fuck that up. Yeah, I get it. That's how I feel too. Um and I think, it shows real integrity that you have some nerves going into it. For whatever it's worth, take comfort in that. I mean, it's not an easy thing, and I think it's easy to take for granted too. Wheel of Fortune. I like this depiction too. Kind of speaks for itself. But I like this setting for the wheel. The clock, the broken clock at that, with some cobwebs around it. and you have some animal depictions around, but the mouse is just kind of resting up there. The clock's sitting at noon. Even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? So, Wheel of Fortune, following our guidance, I mean, we could take guidance from the wheel. Just looking for those opportunities. It is a powerful image. Hey, Deanne. Thanks for joining. I enjoyed your live earlier. Thank you very much for hopping on doing the birthday celebration and sharing those cards. I didn't get to see the whole thing, unfortunately, but I did catch a decent amount there at the end. So, yeah. I mean, if there's a little bit of a kind of a contrast there too, guidance and the wheel. It's not like the wheel is a clear path per se. Um, but sometimes there's clarity and kind of letting go of preconceived notions of what the path should be. Because if you're trapped in this fixation of, I have to get that way doing this thing and that's my end goal and there's only one way to get there. I don't know. The wheel can lend some great clarity to that because it sort of tells us that there are any number of ways you can end up where you want to go. And sometimes you just have to let the wheel decide. Let fate kind of roll the dice for you. And in that you can sort of relax. Look for the guidance in the little things, the random stuff. Look for the small hints and signs along the way. And acknowledge that whatever your preconceived notion was of how to go down that path, it could very well be completely wrong. And sometimes you just have to open yourself up to some possibilities to allow the right thing to happen. And it might be the unexpected thing. So that's all I got, folks. Thank you so much for coming by, Deanne. Sorry you're catching us at the end. It's kind of like me catching you at the end of yours, but I really appreciate everybody coming by. Yeah. I think I really hope to be doing more of this now. I am no longer taking classes, which helps a lot. That was keeping me extremely busy for a long time. And well, I'm very glad you did stop by. Thank you. It means a lot that all of you did stop by. I really appreciate it. And Hershey, Tom, let's schedule that. That reading session. We'll hop on. I'm happy to host. We can simulcast on all of our channels. I think that'd be a good way to do it too. Whatever you want to do. But look for that coming up. We'll try and get it scheduled and get an announcement out there. So thanks again for joining, everybody. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next. And I do feel like sometimes it's just about getting out there and doing one of these to kind of get a rhythm going again. And you know how I am. The lives are great because I don't have to edit anything. So this feels good. I'm gonna keep trying. So thanks again, everybody. Have a wonderful week, and we'll catch you on the next one.